Open your phone before you get out of bed. Someone you went to school with just bought a house. Someone younger than you is leaning against a new car. Someone got married. Someone started a company. A person in their early 30s says they already retired. A 24-year-old is explaining how they became a millionaire, and someone else is filming the morning routine that supposedly changed their life. You scroll for 5 minutes, close the app, and set your phone down. Your actual life has not changed. You still have the same job, the same home, the same amount of money, and the same people who care about you. Still, you feel worse than you did 5 minutes ago. You feel late, like everyone else started moving and nobody told you the race had begun. How can people with different jobs, incomes, families, goals, and problems all feel behind at the same time? Jealousy explains part of it, but it does not explain the whole thing. Something changed about the way humans compare themselves. We built a machine that can show you more people in one morning than many of your ancestors would have seen in a lifetime, and then we placed that machine beside the bed. Over time, it learned exactly which lives make you question your own. To understand how strange that is, go back to a world before smartphones, social media, television, and millions of strangers showing up on a glowing screen. Comparison used to be local. You knew your family, your neighbors, the people you worked with, and maybe a few families from the next village. People still compared status, wealth, beauty, strength, and respect, but the circle was small. The richest person you knew might own more land. The strongest person might hunt better. One family might have a larger home or more animals. You also saw the parts of their lives that were not impressive. You saw them get sick. You heard the arguments. You knew when the harvest failed. You watched their children act up. Their success came with context because you saw the rest of the story too. Then cities grew. Newspapers spread. Photography appeared. Movies created stars. Radio gave famous people a voice, and television brought unusual lives into ordinary homes. A family sitting in a small living room could suddenly watch celebrities, mansions, beautiful people, expensive cars, and lifestyles they had never seen before. Even television had an ending, though. The show finished. The screen went dark. The celebrity did not wake you up in the morning or sit in your pocket while you waited in line. The smartphone removed that boundary. Comparison stopped being something you occasionally watched and became part of the background of daily life. You wake up and compare. You eat breakfast and compare. You wait at the store and compare. You sit in the car and compare. A quiet 10 seconds feels uncomfortable, so you reach for your phone and do it again. The phone could have shown you normal lives at random, average apartments, regular paychecks, boring weekends, people folding laundry, sitting in traffic, or trying to figure out dinner. Those moments do not hold attention very well. Extreme ones do. A teenager building a company, a 20-year-old millionaire, a dramatic transformation, a perfect wedding, a huge house, someone quitting their job and moving to Bali, someone losing 100 pounds, someone waking up at 4 in the morning and claiming that is the reason they won. The algorithm does not need to dislike you or deliberately make you insecure. It only needs to notice what makes people pause. When extreme results keep people watching, the system serves more of them. You stop on one video, the app records it, you watch another, it adjusts, you return the next day, and the feed is a little better at finding the people who are hard to ignore. After enough time, rare lives start to feel common. One 25-year-old millionaire is clearly unusual. Seeing another one tomorrow, 3 more next week, and 10 more by the end of the month starts to move the reference point in your head. You may know that most people are not millionaires at 25, but your brain does not spend its day looking at population statistics. It responds to the environment you repeatedly place in front of it. When extraordinary outcomes fill that environment, an ordinary life can begin to feel like failure. That is how the scoreboard enters the picture. Humans have always measured status, but today the scoreboard follows you everywhere and keeps adding categories. Money, followers, views, job titles, houses, cars, vacations, relationships, businesses, bodies, productivity, and age all become numbers that can be compared. Once you start measuring life this way, someone is always ahead. Make more money and someone makes more. Buy a house and someone bought one younger. Get in shape and someone looks better. Start a business and someone grew faster. Get married and someone has a happier looking relationship. You finally reach a goal, open your phone, and discover that the finish line moved while you were celebrating. Feeling behind is also useful for business. A person who feels content is harder to sell to. A person who believes they are falling behind already has a problem, and there is usually a product waiting to solve it. Feel behind physically? Buy the program. Feel behind financially? Buy the course. Feel behind socially? Buy the clothes. Feel behind at work? Stay later or purchase another productivity tool. The system keeps placing something between your current life and the person you think you should have become. It does not need to make you miserable. A small amount of dissatisfaction works better. You close part of the gap, feel good for a moment, and then the target shifts. That helps explain why success feels temporary now. You get the job, and 3 days later you see someone with a better one. You save $10,000, then watch a video explaining why $10,000 is nowhere near enough. You move into a better apartment, then spend the evening watching tours of houses you cannot afford. Your younger self would have celebrated what you have now, but your younger self is not standing beside you anymore. The internet is, and the internet never runs out of people doing better. It also changes the speed of the timeline. Success is no longer enough. You are expected to achieve it early. 30 begins to feel late, then 25 feels late. Teenagers start building companies online, and a 22-year-old starts wondering whether they missed their chance. For most of history, people expected skill to take time. Wealth often took decades. Respect usually grew with age. Knowledge accumulated through years of work. A short video removes those years. You see the outcome without the waiting that produced it. The person shows the company, not the failed ideas before it. You see the house without knowing whether family money helped buy it. You see the body without seeing years of training. You see the vacation without the credit card balance. You see the wedding photo without hearing the argument after the camera was put away. Your life still contains boring days, mistakes, bills, uncertainty, waiting, and fear. Online, you compare all of that to moments that were selected because they were interesting enough to post. Then you start doing the same thing. You choose the better angle. You post the win. You announce the promotion. You show the vacation. You clean the room before filming. That does not always mean you are lying. It means you understand the rules. Ordinary life rarely travels as far, so people package themselves into something easier to watch. Other people compare themselves to that package, then create packages of their own. Millions of people can feel behind while making someone else feel behind at the same time. Nobody has to plan it. The system runs on its own once enough people understand what gets attention. That is also why stop comparing yourself feels like weak advice. Comparison is no longer an occasional decision. It is built into the place where people spend hours every day. The phone in your pocket can act like a career fair, shopping mall, high school reunion, beauty contest, business conference, and celebrity magazine, with every part refreshing at once. Each section has a reason to keep you looking. Attention creates data. The data improves the recommendations, and better recommendations make it harder to leave. A person who feels behind tends to keep searching for the answer. Go back to the morning when you opened your phone. Someone bought the house. Someone started the company. Someone got married. Someone became wealthy younger than you. 5 minutes later, you closed the app feeling like you had lost something. But your house did not shrink. Your bank account did not change. Your job was still there. You did not suddenly become older. The main change happened inside your head. A few minutes of carefully selected lives adjusted what normal looked like. You can be doing much better than you were 5 years ago and still feel worse because your comparison group changed faster than your life did. Maybe you are not behind. Maybe you are living through the first period in history where an ordinary person can compare one full life to millions of extraordinary moments every day. Feeling late may have less to do with failure and more to do with living inside a system that benefits when the finish line stays out of reach. If you ever felt completely satisfied, you might close the app. You might stop buying things to catch up. You might stop chasing goals you never chose. You might spend enough quiet time with your own life to decide what matters to you. A system that depends on attention has little reason to help you do that. Tomorrow morning, the scoreboard will still be there. Someone younger will be richer. Someone your age will appear farther ahead. Someone will have the house, body, business, family, or life you thought you would have by now. The feed will offer you another finish line. Before you start running toward it, ask who decided where you were supposed to be. That is the strange thing about feeling behind. Most people cannot tell you where you should be. They can only show you someone who reached a different place first.